For generations of Mexicans, the distinctive engine sound of the Volkswagen Kombi was as familiar as the call of their parents at dusk. From school buses and bread delivery vans to the daily commuters' 6 a.m. journeys, this vehicle has been present in every historical moment of everyday life. So how did an irreplaceable icon, a legend dominating the streets, completely disappear from production lines? What happened to the Volkswagen Kombi? The answer will surprise you about how this world works. This is simple why. For decades, people assumed the VW Kombi died a natural death, a victim of changing tastes and stricter safety rules. But the real story requires us to travel back to the year 1964 and look at a bizarre geopolitical conflict. At the time, West Germany and France wanted to protect their local farmers, so they slapped massive taxes on cheap frozen chicken imported from the United States. The Americans were furious. President Lyndon B. Johnson decided to hit back hard, launching a full-blown trade war over poultry. What if I told you that the ultimate symbol of peace and love was actually killed by those frozen chickens? To retaliate against Europe, President Johnson imposed a massive 25% tariff on several European goods, specifically targeting foreign light commercial trucks. By pure bad luck, U.S. Customs officially classified the VW Kombi as a light truck. Because of that sudden 25% penalty, the retail price of the microbus skyrocketed overnight in America. Sales evaporated almost immediately, permanently wiping the beloved vehicle off the market as a casualty of the infamous chicken tax. So the iconic Peace and Love van was driven off the road because the government legally labeled it a light truck. But decades later, that exact same boring legal classification is the secret reason why almost everyone today drives a massive SUV. How exactly did these giant vehicles become the default family car? Did American families suddenly develop a burning desire to go off-roading every single weekend? Are they mathematically safer than a standard low-riding sedan? Or do people simply want a vehicle with a ridiculously large trunk? Most people assume the market naturally evolved because consumers demanded bigger, tougher rides for their outdoor lifestyles. To find the real answer, we have to look back at the aftermath of the 1973 oil crisis. Gas prices were exploding, and the United States government decided to intervene by creating the 1975 CAFE standards. This new law forced automakers to make their standard passenger cars highly fuel efficient. However, the government intentionally left a massive gap in the rules. They relaxed the fuel requirements for light trucks, assuming these gas-guzzling vehicles would only be used by farmers hauling hay or construction workers carrying heavy tools. Car manufacturers panicked because engineering a highly efficient family sedan required billions of dollars in research and development. But here is the crazy part. The modern SUV was born purely to exploit that exact gap in the law. Automakers realized they did not have to invent a better car. They just had to build a vehicle that the government legally considered a truck. They took an existing heavy truck chassis, slapped a spacious family cabin on top of it, and aggressively marketed it to suburban housewives. Mechanically speaking, an SUV is not the natural evolution of the family car. It is a brick-hauling work truck wearing a luxury tuxedo. Because of this brilliant legal loophole, these heavy vehicles dodged strict environmental laws and took over the market, making up roughly 80% of new car sales in America today. When the final last edition Kombi rolled off the assembly line in Brazil in 2013, it marked the end of an era. Yet what died on the factory floor was reborn in American culture. Today, the Kombi has transitioned from a budget-friendly family hauler into a highly prized collector's item. You see them transformed into mobile surf shacks in California, hipster coffee vans, or meticulously restored glamping rigs selling for six figures at auctions. Ultimately, the VW bus didn't truly vanish. It just changed its address from the highway to our collective nostalgia. It remains the ultimate symbol of American road trip freedom, a mechanical time capsule reminding us of a simpler, slower time, when the journey mattered far more than the destination. The Volkswagen Kombi disappeared not because it failed, but because it had completed its historical mission. Laws and technology may kill off a production line, but they cannot erase a cultural icon. Today, on the streets of Mexico or anywhere else, that distinctive roar has become increasingly rare. But for millions, just hearing that sound from afar brings back a flood of childhood memories and journeys of earning a living. The vehicle may have stopped rolling, but its story will be told forever. So the next time you walk past a suburban supermarket parking lot packed with aggressive-looking SUVs, remember the strange history hiding under their hoods. You are not looking at a group of rugged wilderness explorers, but a fleet of perfect loophole trucks, quietly carrying plastic grocery bags without ever touching a speck of mud, just like that classic peace and love van that died as a truck before them. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden everyday secrets, please hit that like button. Share this video with a curious friend and subscribe to Simple Why. Stay curious, and I'll see you next time.